Hey Core Life, it's Lauren Melton here, registered dietitian at Core Life in Odenton. Thanks again for joining me today for Eating Well with Core Life. Today we're going to talk about the health benefits of tea. So I hope that this serves as something educational and you may consider adding tea to your diet after our chat today. So let's dive right in. So nearly half of the U.S. population drinks some sort of tea beverage every day. The most common types of caffeinated teas are, of course, your black tea. Green tea is pretty common, and oolong tea. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. And the popularity of each type varies geographically. So in the US, black tea consumption really outweighs the other two types. But in contrast, in Asia, green tea is more common. And in southern China, oolong teas top the charts. So all of these types of teas are made from the same plant. The unique flavor profiles for each of these teas are due to differences in how the leaves of that particular plant are processed. Herbal teas, however, are not made from a tea plant. These teas are products of roots, leaves, and flowers, and other components from a variety of plants. Chamomile and peppermint are two very popular herbal teas. Chamomile is made from the plant's flowers, and peppermint is obviously made from the leaves of a mint plant. So, all of the three main types of teas that we talked about contain some degree of caffeine. Black tea has more caffeine than green tea. But however, the caffeine content also relates to the brewing process. So obviously the longer the tea steeps, the greater the caffeine content. So caffeinated teas usually have less caffeine than coffee. So as an example, one 8-ounce cup of coffee contains about 95 milligrams of caffeine, and an equal amount of black tea only has about 48 grams. In a cup of green tea, there's only 29, and the oolong tea provides about 38. Decaf tea contains very small amounts of caffeine, and most herbal teas are going to be caffeine-free. Both caffeinated and herbal teas may provide very small amounts of minerals such as potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, sodium, copper, and zinc. So that might be something new to know. The actual amount varies depending upon the age and the growing conditions of the tree plant. So very wide variety there. There are only about 5 milligrams of calcium in 1 cup of herbal tea like chamomile. But tea is also a source of fluoride, and the amount can vary depending on the type and the amount of water that is used to make it, of course. So let's talk about the health benefits of tea. So natural substances called polyphenols are found in both caffeinated and herbal teas. And these substances are antioxidants, which we've talked about before, that help reduce the risk of certain chronic diseases. So during processing, some polyphenols in tea are destroyed. So things like tea powders, decaf tea, and bottled tea drinks may not have the same benefits because it may take away some of those antioxidants. Additionally, research suggests that green teas offer a greater antioxidant punch compared to most other varieties. So what about tea when it relates to weight management? The research is still out, but there are some studies that suggest that caffeine and another type of polyphenol in tea may help with weight loss. Decaffeinated green teas did not really appear to produce the same results, so it's really all about some of the caffeine in there. So though the research on caffeinated green tea looks promising, there are still a lot of unanswered questions, some things that we still don't know. Those results have been minimal, only 1 to 2 pounds of additional weight loss, so nothing, super significant. And the research is lacking to support the wide range of herbal tea products advertised for weight loss, and those can sometimes be harmful depending on their ingredients. So if you're looking for one of those like detox teas or something, be sure that you're checking the ingredients. Chat with your dietitian if you're really not sure about it. Chances are it's not really that great of a product, but again, ask your dietitian. So let's talk about tea and heart health. Tea drinkers may be helping to keep their hearts healthy. There has been a good bit of research that has shown a reduced risk of heart disease in people who drink green or black tea regularly, although the findings have been mixed in terms of the tea's effect on lowering cholesterol and blood pressure. So you could be doing some good there. What about tea and diabetes? The research relating to diabetes is a little bit less clear, which kind of makes sense. There have been some studies to suggest that some of the polyphenols in green tea may help keep blood sugar in check, which can help reduce your risk for type 2 diabetes. However, these findings have mainly been based on practices in other countries and not repeated in clinical trials. So, for instance, if they, studied this green tea but didn't take into account any other lifestyle factors, that could be playing a role that they're not accounting for. Researchers are also evaluating if spearmint and chamomile teas play a role in preventing diabetes. So really more research is needed on the amount of tea and the type of tea, if you would need that, and if that tea would need to be in the form of a supplement instead of a drink, because that's what a lot of the research has been. Then when it comes to cancer, there's a lot of information online about tea as a cancer-fighting beverage, but research has not proven that this significantly helps to reduce cancer. Some studies suggest that tea drinkers have a lower risk for certain types of cancers, but then there are other studies that really don't support that. So it's really unknown if drinking tea can reduce your risk of cancer. And then let's talk about what happens if you overdo tea. So, too much of a good thing can put your health at risk sometimes. Same thing goes with consuming tea. One risk is obviously caffeine overload if you're drinking large amounts of black tea that has a lot of caffeine in it. Obviously, large amounts of caffeine can lead to nervousness, restlessness, and can disturb your sleep patterns. Some people may also experience some GI issues from having too much caffeine, nausea, abdominal pain, heartburn, just your typical side effects of consuming too much caffeine. It can also interact with certain medications. So you should probably not be having more than about 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. So if you're a big tea drinker, that's probably something to keep in mind. So although more research is needed to pin down all the benefits of tea, it can be a part of a healthy eating pattern. It's definitely not going to hurt you unless you overdo it like we just talked about. For the most powerful punch, I would recommend making your own at home and then being mindful of things that you add to it that can add, extra sugar and calories that can really negate the health benefits. So I hope that gives you some good information about tea, and maybe you'll consider adding tea to your diet. I love it as kind of a wind down at the end of my day, nothing like a good cup of mint tea. But if you have any questions, again, please talk to your dietitian. Leave me any questions, comments, topics you'd like me to cover below. Don't forget to check out the workouts with Corey and our other trainers and the cooking demos with Nick. And we will see you later. Bye.